Christopher Goncalves from Venezuela is now a senior in the NMSU tennis team. At the beginning, Christopher was not convinced of playing college tennis in the US, but he knew a former Aggie, Luis Fernando Ramirez, who also played professional tennis in Venezuela. He's the one who introduced Christopher to NMSU and the head coach, Carlos Vargas.
When you are as consistent as Christopher has been for all these years, that's when it becomes normal. Winning becomes normal. Winning becomes natural, and you give yourself and the team a good chance.
Since he arrived at NMSU, the number one player in the team has improved in every aspect of his game and became more mature.
I've learned a lot, and I think that's the secret of getting better every day, and that's why I'm where I'm at right now.
This is here at the NMSU Tennis Center, where Christopher Goncalves became one of the best players in tennis history here at New Mexico State University.
Having Christopher in our team is amazing. He's our player, and we trust him like in every match. I know when he's playing, he's gonna give the best in every match.
Christopher has already clinched the WAC championship title twice to offer the Aggies their first trophy in the history of men's tennis at NMSU.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's something really special for me. Doing it twice is something that I never expect to do when I came here, and yeah, it's something amazing, and I feel really, really proud of myself and of my team.
Before he graduates next year and give a try on the ATP Pro Tennis Tour, Christopher has one more objective: conquer the WAC championship title again for the third time in 4 years. I'm Paul Denele for News 22 Sports.
Here, let's go, move, off the ground and move.
First, the NMSU rugby team starts with an intense warm-up which includes running sprints and short passing with cardio to raise the heartbeat. Spring season is around the corner for the NMSU rugby team as the players are back on the field to practice with coach Justin Karenberg.
From January to February, we have open training where we're focusing on fitness and conditioning, and then some other skills as well, playing just touch rugby, right? So no contact. And then starting next week actually is when we'll get into contact, and at that point, the men's team will separate themselves from everybody else.
The rugby team is not a part of the NMSU athletic department. It's more like a club who is trying to expand in a country where baseball, basketball, and football are so dominant. Rugby is not a popular sport in the US, but here at NMSU, they got to practice twice a week and compete at collegiate level.
Rugby is a great option because you can still compete at a high level of rugby and get your playing time and stay active and play a sport. So once someone comes out, they usually keep coming out.
Rugby is known as a men's sport, but some women play as well, like Angelique Chavez, who started to play in middle school and who is also president of NMSU Rugby.
Well, I've been super involved in rugby since I was younger, and then as soon as I came down to NMSU and I knew they had a team, I've been playing since my freshman year, and I've slowly made my way up from secretary to treasurer to president.
The NMSU rugby team will face New Mexico Tech for the first game of the season in a couple of weeks. Paul Denele for News 22 Sports. Finding a parking spot at NMSU can be difficult, especially during peak hours from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cars have to wait in lines, hoping to find a free space to park, and some students aren't happy about it.
I hate it. There's literally never anywhere to park. We just drive around in circles for probably like
every day
for like 10-15 minutes until we find a parking spot. It doesn't matter the time of day.
Last January, the parking lot 11 became a construction site and will remain closed. However, people think the problem was there before that closure.
Honestly, it's been going since I've been an undergraduate student here, so it's been going on for about 5-6 years, and it's ridiculous.
Parking at NMSU has been a problem since years, but the NMSU parking department and transportation knows how to fix the problem in the future.
We just finished issuing a request for proposal and have awarded a contract to a company that's going to help us update our parking master plan for the campus. That will help us figure out when we have closures like Lot 11 or any new buildings that are going to be built that are also going to be built on a parking lot, how do we manage that going forward? And so we'll be having focus groups and surveys will go out, and we're hoping that a lot of people participate so we can get all of the input we can and develop a plan going forward.
Students, faculty and staff are looking for better days on the different NMSU parking lots. For News 22, I'm Paul Denele. Navin Sai is from Coimbatore in India. He came in the US with a scholarship to be part of the New Mexico State University men's tennis program. He is now finishing his master's degree in the business accounting program and will graduate this coming May. He is currently seeking the H-1B visa, which would allow him to stay and work legally in the US in the future.
I want to live in the US for a few years at least. I'm originally from India. I just got a job in Deloitte, Las Vegas, an accounting firm. So I want to work here in this country. And that's why I need a H-1B to work legally.
The H-1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows foreign people to work in the US legally. Out of 190,098 applicants, only 85,000 are selected during a lottery. India and China combine for 82% of H-1B getters. Philippines, South Korea and Canada complete the top 5. Even though winning the H-1B lottery is really difficult, the graduate student has another option, which is the OPT, which guarantees them 1 year to work here in the US as a graduate student.
I applied for the OPT and the H-1B this year. If my H-1B doesn't get picked, I will have to work on my OPT and then apply for H-1B again. But for the next 12 months, I'm good to work with either OPT or H-1B.
Now Navin hopes that his H-1B application will be selected during the lottery so he can keep his American dream alive. For News 22, I'm Paul Denele.
This is here on top of the stairs, apartment 1324, that Mr. Chavez was accused of domestic violence against his ex-girlfriend. Looking to travel outside the US? Here behind those doors, at Braylon Hall, the NMSU International Border Programs has opened a passport acceptance office for everything you need about your passport application. Gather with your family and friends to try to win the New Mexico Weight Loss Jackpot Challenge. But first, let's get ready. You have now 12 weeks to get ready to win the challenge with your team. This upcoming weekend here at NMSU is Technology Day. Faculty, students or others, come enjoy the new technologies available here at NMSU.